We need to look at this in a rational, sensible manner, not necessarily just panic.
I think the big question is, are we in a bear market?
Thank you, Monica. Look, the short answer, as we can see from the slide, if you just simply look at the number of stocks that are in an established downtrend and ones that are in an established uptrend, you can have a pretty good idea of what percentage of the stocks in the global stock market are in a bear market or not. And this chart gives you an idea. We look at the major indices globally, and you'll see that in the bull section, the percentage of stocks from each index in a bull trend are in minority at the moment. There are still some, it varies between 10 and 20%, but it is the minority. That wasn't the case a few years back. In the bear section, which is the red column, you'll see that actually they are the larger portion of stocks, and they vary between 40 to 60, 70%. And it shows that those stocks are in a protracted bear market. And of course, the ones in between.
Gosh,
so on average, most of stocks are in a bear market, yes.
China's having a terrible time.
Yeah.
96%.
Yes, because the recent bubble that we experienced in 94, 95 is just completely burst. So they don't look good.
And I mean, I think the question, which I guess is in everyone's lips, is what do I do in this circumstance?
Well, the first thing you do, obviously, is you have your portfolio reviewed by your financial advisor. If you're leveraged, you have to think about deleveraging. You need to rebalance your portfolio. What worked in the past doesn't mean necessarily it will work in the future. You have to look at strategies today that can make you money in this kind of environment. And the things to think about right now is no one really knows whether we have a 2 months bear market or a protracted bear market. What we do know, and if we go back to this chart, which I think is a very interesting chart, which gives you a chronological mapping of when sectors and markets topped in this cycle from 2009. We've had a bull market from 2009 in the majority of stocks, but in 2011 we saw emerging market stocks top, gold topped, a lot of commodities topped, and they continued to go down, and they're still going down, as we don't know if they've bottomed or not. So there's no sign of those bottoming. Potentially gold is showing relative outperformance, so maybe that's an early indicator. But right now we can't confirm that any of these sectors or markets have bottomed. If we move forward a little bit to 2014, June 2014, this is when oil stocks and oil began to capitulate. And the dollar strengthened, and the high yield market also started struggling. And if you look at those stocks today and the bonds, they still haven't bottomed, so we don't see any bottom. There is no technical bottom to any of these. In 2015, when the Fed started talking about rate hikes, the rate-sensitive stocks topped. And last year, one by one, we saw a number of sectors topped. In 2015, April, May, the majority of global stocks reached a peak. Okay. In June, we saw the Shanghai bubble burst, and the secondaries in America topped as well. And what was left really standing going into the August correction were the quality stocks, the large cap growers, and whether that was biotech, healthcare, consumer discretionary tech, or consumer staples, they stayed up. But what we saw post-July, August is that healthcare didn't pick up again. And healthcare kept going down, and biotech is now experiencing steep losses. So what you do have, what's left standing today, and we don't really know whether those have entered a bear market or not yet, and you can't say that, are the consumer discretionary, the tech stocks and consumer staples. They're still holding up. There's no sign that those have necessarily entered a bear market. They may do, but not yet. You can't say. However, the rest of them are in a bear market, and none of them show signs of bottoming. So this is what investors need to deal with.
I mean, I think
they cannot assume. Sorry.
No, I just saw. I was saying to you earlier on, saw an interesting image. It was talking because of the weather, the time of year. Snow is falling. Someone said, I made an observation. Snow is falling, and then there's the other side of the cartoon. People are saying, "Sell snow, sell, sell, sell." I mean, is it just sell?
They are. Well, if you didn't prepare for this, and frankly, there've been a lot of warning signals along the line. And as I said, if you are over invested, it depends. You need to look at each investor. If he's a long-term investor, if you're savings, etc., and you're invested in large companies or funds that manage well, there's no reason for you to do anything. If you are much more active or leverage, or you try to play the markets, yes, you have to tone down and you have to reassess your strategies. If they worked before, they may not work going forward. That's what you have to look for. If you are reallocating, you need to look at strategies that make money in what's happening and likely to happen going forward. And I think that's really, we need to look at this in a rational, sensible manner, not necessarily just panic.
Rationality would be key.
It's not easy. Yeah, it's not easy. There's, a 9% decline in the first 2 weeks is not an easy thing to digest.
No,
for
certainly
anybody.
not easy. But I mean, with that in mind, on a scale of 1 to kind of running to the hills, fleeing as it were, how worried should investors be at present?
I think everybody should worry enough to reassess how they are positioned. Okay, I don't think you should be complacent about what's happening. I think that could be a big mistake. Nobody knows whether this is a 2 months issue or 1 year, 3 year, 4 or 5, who knows? We don't know that. You have to be prepared, and you have to prepare now. If you haven't prepared, you have to prepare now. The sooner the better. And that's very important for people to understand.
So it's not too late.
It's never too late.
It's never too late.
It's never too late to adjust and position your portfolio correctly.
Okay. Well, I mean, as you say, it's not easy. It's been a difficult few weeks, but thank you for coming in and shedding some clarity on the matter. It's been really helpful. Thank you, Walid.
Thank you, Monica.
Okay, well, that's all from me and Walid for the moment. Thank you for watching. Please do keep clicking back to Dukascopy TV. Goodbye.